Good morning, and this is Miss Ellie White coming to discuss with you the new issues facing Bitcoin and monetary accountability. Now, if you remember, we just recently went through a very similar issue when we discussed whether or not our little phones should be tapped into by the FBI to give important and urgent information about the San Bernardino shootings. Now, this had absolutely nothing to do with the San Bernardino shootings, which were not a terror event in the true sense of the word. You have a disorientated, disgruntled employee who couldn't get a girl. And so he went to Arabic nations purporting that he has the ability to offer citizenship to any woman who will marry him. And he couldn't get a single Arab either. So he runs into this Pakistani maid in an Arabic household, and they said, here, we'll give this girl to you. Now, she got on the plane with him, not married to him, ended up living with him, bearing a child with him, and never marrying him. Now, if they had been serious, strict Al-Qaeda people, they would have been murdered the second they stepped off that plane, because they may be the most heinous, militaristic, sadistic people on the universe, but they do not do living in sin like demoralized half Christians do in America and other Western nations. So they were not Al-Qaeda. They were not on any single list, okay? Anything single list. As far as even, calling the local liquor store and talking to someone just so he could speak his own native tongue. They had not had a single phone call, the FBI, of this gentleman with anybody. So we have this issue being raised about whether or not the FBI should go in and seize the computer, which somebody put a dedication on a page saying that she had posted something saying that I dedicate myself to Islam. Only the post was made 12 hours after her death. And when that point was brought to light, the post was immediately taken down. Again, after her death. Then the computer was said to be thrown in the lake at a local park. Again, after her death. So certain people tried to use the scene for their own benefit to push anti-gun laws. Because if you take away every gun out of America, you can then throw them all into FEMA camps, and what are they going to do? Nothing. They don't even have teeth to bite the officer's arm who's carrying them into a massive FEMA camp because, voila, all Americans are insanely addicted to crack and things which destroy the teeth from the inside out, and they only have dentures. So when you go into a FEMA camp, you're not even going to be able to bite the dude's arm that's hauling you off to be beheaded. Which, by the way, you'll only have to do if you actually profess to be a Christian. But don't worry, there's 15,000 guillotines sitting in an army base in Florida, an army base in Georgia, an army base in Montana, and an army base in Alaska. Are we seeing any kind of, groveling and low-layer acquiescence to the administration in a certain branch of the military? But we're moving in there because it's said that there's now American planes being repainted as Russian planes in a certain Marine and Air Force area in Georgia and Florida. Please, guys, when you're told to do something that's horrendous and awful, don't do it. You're sworn to uphold the Constitution, not obey any master who is above you, who has an evil agenda and are going to do things for ulterior and New World Order and satanic Luciferian ends. Please don't go in that direction. So now, you have the testing where the FBI says, wait a minute, Obama has thrown us under the bus twice and said, oh, well, the FBI, no matter how good they are, they just missed it. Poor little dudes, they have too much to do. Well, the FBI did not appreciate being thrown under the bus, and so they came out and said on televised news they were not on one single phone call. And if you were a foreigner in a different country and you knew that the guy on the next block that managed so-and-so liquor store and that he was a heavy-duty Al-Qaeda, maybe you didn't know that, maybe you did know that, but he speaks your language, he's from your hometown, you would immediately try to develop some kind of contact and friendship with him to, just be able to talk your own language once in a while. Maybe share the national drink or have a dinner together or let your wife have a friendship with their wife. You would do something. But this man didn't have a single phone call or anything, Facebook, intercepted by the FBI as being even one single interaction with anybody who was an Al-Qaeda dude. And believe me, there's plenty of them that are here. So, this was a disgruntled idiot who was very obnoxious and demeaning and aggressive and violent towards women that just flipped. But the administration saw it as an idea to claim that now we've had terrorism happen in America and start pushing anti-gun laws. And because of being thrown under the bus, the FBI was tricked into asking for a court order to reveal the contents of the man's cell phone, not because there was anything on it. They'd already said he'd never called anybody. So why was this huge court order going out there? Not just asking them, but a court case to sue Apple to make them divulge information that they knew wasn't going to be there. It was not for the information they were going to be granted. It was for the precedence of being able to cite a legal case saying, but we were allowed to take the cell phone and try to get evidence 100 years ago. So now we can use that one court case on seizing information from anyone that we might, maybe they're too good. Maybe we want to get something on them. Maybe we want to plant something on them. So, the guy had never had a single phone call with anybody that was a bad guy at all. And suddenly they're pushing a court order in a court case to try to get information that they know is not there. And that was a give me that was given to them by the Obama administration to say, look, if we give you this precedent, you can then go into any phone that you want to, and you can find out who's selling pot to who. Because if you find out where all those networks are, then you can go in and seize all that and make sure that any, little personal stash sales that are going on are eliminated, and only sales of marijuana that are done by authorized law enforcement agencies will be allowed, which the local law enforcement agencies have said, our duty is far too dangerous. So we need some hazard pay. So tell your people that they're going to get busted if they do this and this and this. If they want to buy, they need to buy from an authorized law enforcement agency. Now, hopefully some of that has gone out the window with the newest law being passed saying it's not illegal to have pot at all anymore. But the pot issue is not the issue. It's the issue of faking a court suit in order to establish a precedent that they can seize any information that they want from us from here forward. And that's the danger, my friend, and that's what we need to stop. We need to say that all surveillance and all collecting of any kind is illegal. If you decide that somebody's doing something and you have some kind of proof or reasonable assumption, you take it to a judge and you get a warrant, and then you go after that one person. We now have 17 secret agencies in America who don't even know who their bosses are. So, if they were started by Obama in 2009, and they don't really know who they're reporting to, he's going to go out of office, and or whoever controls him will still be running all of those 17 agencies. Now, we're not even talking about how employment numbers were manipulated during that time as he staffed all those agencies with his favorite people. And then eventually people that were on unemployment and such just kind of dropped off the counting procedure. I don't know of anybody who's a single woman in my whole area, 35,000 people, who can get a job. They assume that you have to have a man, that he has a full-time blue-collar job, and you have something. Okay? So, Our numbers for employment are being seriously manipulated by the fact that he staffed 17 new secret agencies in cities all across America just to make his initial numbers look good. We're facing terrible, terrible, dangerous times, my friend, when 70% of America doesn't have $100 for an emergency if they need it. Tens of thousands of people all across America and Europe are going to die this winter because they have no gas. They can't afford to pay for gas. But you have America pushing Russia, OPEC nations, Iran, Saudi Arabia, anyone that produces any oil at all, including Venezuela, which has their own difficulties already, to double the price of oil. Because they know that winter's coming and anybody is going to pay their last dime into oil so they don't freeze to death. But the fact of the matter is, many tens of thousands of people will die this winter if those prices go up. So we need to bring that to our nation's attention and to the world's attention and get them to not raise the price of oil, killing many, many, many hundreds of thousands, when you say tens of thousands per nation, all across the world. And we can't let these secret agendas steal our privacy and our rights and our guns and anything else that we fought for so hard for hundreds of years to all go out the window for a few greedy people's agendas. So I hope this helps your understanding of what's going on in the world today. And please feel to write me. I'll be at buffalostudy@yahoo.com, or you can even make a donation to paypal.me/buffalostudy@yahoo.com. I know because of the issues that I present to you, they have kept me without any funds and without any heat for the winters, for this is now the 7th winter going on end. Miss Ellie White coming to you. Please write me and send me any encouraging note that you can, even if you can't afford to send a donation. Would love to hear from you all. Thank you so much and have a great day.